Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
There we go. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Had a haircut, Zarn.
No, just brushed it.
Or had a shave. Maybe the shave.
Yeah, shave my beard off.
Yeah. So you got rid of all your body hair.
Oh, not all of it, but I got the one on my face. I did, yes. So I don't look like as much as an ape.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
What an eventful little Christmas.
January 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what? 399. Show 399.
Yes.
The next show we do will be the 400th show. Which is
somehow. So, you've had an exciting Christmas, haven't you?
Oh, my God. Like most of the country, yes. Yes. I'm not going to go into the incompetency of our government, but yeah, our Christmas was definitely spoiled by COVID.
Yes.
So, but on a good note, I lost like 15 kilos in 3 weeks.
And it is noticeable. Must have been a heavy beard.
That was a huge beard.
So
everyone's all better now and we're good and we're back.
We're getting it, yeah. So show me the money. Apple becomes first US company to hit the $3 trillion in value. CBS News reported on the first day of trading of 2022, Apple marked a new milestone. It became the first US company to reach a market value of $3 trillion with a T dollars. Apple shares briefly touched a record of 182.88 per share in Monday's trading. At that price, it topped the $3 trillion mark. In early afternoon trading, the share slipped from the intraday high, putting its value just below $3 trillion. And I'm sure that makes a big difference, right?
I know.
The milestone,
still trying to buy hot chips.
Yeah. The milestone is even more notable given that it was less than 4 years ago that Apple topped $1 trillion.
Yeah.
So tripled in value in less than 4 years.
That's amazing.
And it was August 2020, Apple cracked the $2 trillion, powered by steady expansion into services as Tim Cook sought to reduce the company's reliance on iPhones, iPads, and other devices for growth. Now, Apple's services business, including original shows, music, cloud storage, and fitness apps, is worth fully half the company, about 1.5, said Wedbush analyst Dan Ives. Hitting $3 trillion is another historical moment for Apple as the company continues to prove the doubters wrong, Ives said in a note to investors on Monday. The linchpin to Apple's valuation re-rating remains its services business, which is believed to be $1.5 trillion in the eyes of the street, coupled by the flagship hardware ecosystem, which is in the midst of its strongest product cycle in over a decade, led by iPhone 13, he wrote. Now, to put Apple's value in perspective, a market capitalization of $3 trillion places the company's market cap roughly on par with the gross domestic product of the United Kingdom, and it exceeds the gross domestic product of India, 2.9, France, 2.9, and Russia, 1.6. Now, with considerable uncertainties for global economies and global markets, Apple seemed to be seen by many as a safe haven, given its size, brands, leadership across multiple markets, diversified business model, strong financial model, and flexible balance sheet, Scott Kessler, analysis in investment firm Third Bridge, said in a note last week. He added that the company seems to be in a good position to work through supply chain issues, which have been affecting tech companies, any companies, not just tech companies, large and small, any companies. Like we're having trouble getting food on shelves. Apple shares were trading at 181.89 in late afternoon, up 2.4 on the day and roughly 37% over the year. More than a third over the year.
Yeah.
So it's risen 1,400% just since Tim Cook took over as chief executive in 2001.
Insane.
Insane. That's right. And there's a link to the note at cbsnews.com.
So 3 touring in just under 4 years.
Yeah.
That's an amazing accomplishment, considering that in the last, sort of 2 and a bit years we've been in lockdown.
Yeah.
I think, what they did was really, really smart. They focused more on iPhone, iPad, technology, because they seen that we were locked down and we wanted to communicate with our loved ones and, having to, even, with all the Mac products as well, we needed to be able to get across, the internet fast, without, any sort of, major breakdowns, so we could still, get paid for our work. We could still talk to our mum and dad. We could still talk to, our sisters and brothers, no matter where they were.
Yeah, keep it going. Yeah.
I really noticed though, like over the last couple of years with, the seminars and everything they hold, that they really, really focused on that communication.
Yeah.
And it was really smart. I think it's part of why they have, sort of in the last 4 years, have really made that benchmark of that $3 trillion. It was smart on their behalf. It was also really good on their behalf to be able to do that and realize what their customers wanted and what their customers not even wanted, but what their customers needed, because, like for, a single man, single female, single, non-binary, at home in lockdown, that has no other communication but through, their iPad, their iPhone, their Mac product.
Yeah.
It was really important for mental health. And I know, if it wasn't last episode, episode before that or something like that, where Tim Cook himself was talking about that, how important the mental health status of not only him, he understands, but, his consumer base, customers, and the people that, are really, like me, you, that are the Apple and the Mac diehards that, really need that, support. And so I think it's well earned. The $3 trillion is well earned because he listened, heard, and delivered. So well done. I think that's a really big accomplishment, and it's because he listens, and the company listens to what's needed and when. So
true.
Yeah.
Now,
yes,
story 2.
Yeah. So Tim Cook responds personally to criticism of Apple Music. Macworld reported a Reddit user sent a long critical email to Tim Cook, and to his surprise, was called by one of the Apple CEO's assistants. Reddit user HeyUDVD, or Dave B, as he calls himself on Medium, has written an interesting post about how he emailed Apple CEO Tim Cook and got a response. Dave B has been writing critical articles and commentary about Apple Music for years, including several popular articles on Medium, and the email he sent to Tim Cook was a long summary of all his criticism of the app. In short, he argued that music was trying to be a middle ground between an app for users who want to organize such and filter large music libraries, and an app for those who want to get smart recommendations based on what they liked but failed, Sorry. The app is neither as good at the former as iTunes, nor as good as the latter as Spotify. I beg to differ on that. Anyway.
Yep.
To his surprise, Dave B received an email from one of Tim Cook's assistants who wanted to arrange a call about the email and his criticism. During the phone call, a few days later, he said that Tim Cook himself had read the email and had forwarded it directly to the teams developing Apple Music and the Music app. Something that happens so rarely that she herself had not been involved in before. I mean, I think that's what to say he, but anyway. Dave B. It might be she. Who knows?
No, she as in the assistant.
Oh, the assistant. Oh, well. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. The assistant could not make any promises, but for obvious reasons, but said that Apple takes the criticism seriously and may introduce some of the changes Dave B. suggested in his email. The post has not been backed up by any evidence, and Dave B. himself writes that it's up to readers to believe the story or not. But it's not the first time emails to Apple CEO have been answered, and we've heard of people being emailed or called in the past. Show notes, obviously, the rest of that, or if you want to go on to Macworld and check that out. Now, I know plenty of people who have Android phones that now use Apple Music because there's a bigger library, because there's a better selection. I don't know if Spotify is better. I've never used it. I only use Apple Music, so I'm biased. But I've never not got the song I wanted, and they have just an amazing selection. Now too with was it Shazam linking everything to your Apple Music as well. You know, if I hear something and I'm like, oh, I like this song, bang, hit that, it links it to my Apple Music, brings it up, shows me who it is, and then puts it into my library.
Yeah.
So you can't really argue with that. I know the criticisms are probably just clearly he wants a better app, a better platform for what he's doing. So I'm definitely not going to criticize what he's doing here. I think it's great. I think that everyone needs to hear what, you know, like this is the way to make something better, you know, and so that's really good. But I don't know. I like Apple Music. I think it works okay. I understand what you're saying about iTunes and everything, but iTunes was also a different platform. You know, you brought and loaded your own music into iTunes as well.
Yeah,
and has been able to buy that. So the selection was obviously bigger because it's coming from your library, your own library, or therefore going in and buying complete albums and things like that. And so it was definitely a different platform. The music app is made to, you know, for quick selection, for, you know, it'll build you a playlist, you know, just out of what you've been listening to lately. And if you like that, it'll also then incorporate things. Well, if, you know, say, for instance, I liked, I don't know, Green Day. Oh, so you like Green Day. Okay, and so then they might throw in some Ramones, they might throw in some Blink-182, you know, they might, you know, and that sort of pop punk genre.
Some Mariah Carey.
No Mariah Carey. There's never any time for Mariah Carey. And so I've noticed that Apple Music does that. Like I will chuck on my radio station, and it'll play songs I've never heard before. You know, but they're still in that same genre as what I've been listening to.
So it helps you discover.
And it helps me discover. iTunes never did that.
Yeah.
You know, it never did that. And so
there should be a new playlist coming out shortly of this for everybody that uses Apple Music, your 2021 playlist. So things that you'd listen to, it just goes and says, you listen to all of this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, here's the song you listened to 100 times. Here's goes blah, 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 blah. Here's the song you played once. You know what I mean? But it keeps playing it for you and mixing it around for you. So
that's what I really like about it.
Yeah.
And it does that sort of stuff. You know, like I might be watching a television show and I like a riff I hear and I'm like, oh, I wonder who that is.
Yeah.
Hit it. It comes up. I listen to the song. But that's the only time I listen to the song because I forget about it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And so when they're making, you know, playlists like, you know, here's the, you know, your playlist from 2021. That's awesome. I listen to so much music. My playlist would be massive. And it'll have some of the heaviest music I've ever heard. You know, like because I'll be watching, some weird program on SBS about, Norwegian black metal, which I literally was, and they play a song, and so I'm like, here we go, let's see what this is, and it's some weird some weird Norwegian black metal band, and so if I get that on my playlist, I'll be stoked because I only ever listened to like half the song. And I was like, oh yeah, that's weird and wonderful, it's great to see an artist creating something like that.
That's right.
And I don't know, like I understand that everything can always be better, and as human beings, we should always strive to be the better you. And I appreciate what Dave B is trying to do.
Yeah.
But on that same note, I'm pretty happy with my Apple Music app. And
good.
So if it gets better, it's only going to make us diehards happier. So yeah.
Yep. Apple's new ad invites you to imagine dying alone without a watch on your wrist. The Verge reported Apple wants you to know that buying a $400 US smartwatch could be a matter of life and death, and it's brilliantly, gruesomely captured that feeling in a new TV ad. Titled 911, the 1-minute ad spot doesn't show any of the gory details. You simply hear 3 phone conversations between 911 operators and people who manage to use their Apple Watch when facing seemingly imminent death.
Yeah.
One who might drown in a sinking car, one who fell a great distance and broke his leg, and a paddleboarder who got swept out to sea.
That's right.
Yeah, they each have a happy ending. Apple informs us with the help of their watch, Jason, Jim, and Amanda were rescued in minutes, but the underlying message is brilliantly clear. If they didn't have this miraculous life-saving product on their wrists, they could have died alone. Apple is well known for commissioning heartstring plucking ads, and this one is no exception. It's painfully easy to imagine myself bleeding out or drowning with no help on the way when I listen to their scared voices.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the marketing because it partially rings true. You don't have to search long to find people who believe the Apple Watch generally saved their life.
Absolutely.
I nearly bought one for my dad, this is the reporter, a while back, believing it's a small price to pay just in case it made a difference. He declined for one thing. He's on Android, even though there are other smartwatches that could theoretically make emergency calls. I don't think it's a stretch to say Apple Watch is the obvious choice, particularly if you believe the fall detection, irregular heartbeat flagging, which I get, and walking steadiness indicator, which is new, might also help. But that doesn't change the fact it's now selling you on fear, edging into insurancy salesman territory to do so. It's a good ad, but it feels a little shameless. I don't quite go that far. It is a good ad, and it's a reminder of, the advantages. So
I heard the paddleboarder one.
Yeah.
The other day I was it was either on YouTube. It might have been on YouTube, or it might have been on when I was listening to a podcast. It might have been a podcast ad. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But I heard the paddleboarder one, and I was like, "What's this?" And then I realized it was an ad for that, and I was like, because it's a real call.
Yes.
And it's amazing, and it's right, and we've reported this before, we've talked about how the watches have, saved people,
saved lives.
Yeah, and they really are amazing. So
yeah. Your turn.
My turn. One moment. Sorry, guys. I don't have my notes for some reason. My phone's playing up. It's not the phone's fault. It's definitely my fault. So I need to, go through a message that Michael sent me because he's that nice. So you just got to bear with me for a minute. Apple puts India iPhone factory on probation. BBC reports Apple has placed an iPhone factory in southern India on probation following protests over food poisoning and living conditions. An audit by Apple found the remote dining rooms and
Dormitories.
dormitories, thank you, same thing, used by workers did not meet requirements. Around 250 women who worked at the Foxconn plant were affected by food poisoning, with more than 150 ending up in hospital, local media reported. Foxconn apologized and said it was investigating the situation. We are very sorry for the issues our employees experienced and are taking immediate steps to enhance the facilities and services we provide. The Taiwanese firm said in a statement, the factory has been closed since the 18th of December when the protests began. Apple has not specified what being on probation means, but in the past it has declined to award new businesses to facilitate on probation until problems are resolved. An Apple spokesperson said, following recent conditions about food safety and accommodation conditions at Foxconn, we dispatched independent auditors. We found that some of the remote dormitories, accommodation, and dining rooms being used for employees do not meet our requirements. We are working with suppliers to ensure a comprehensive set of corrective actions and rapid improvement. The iPhone factory, which is about 25 miles or 40 kilometers from Shanghai, employs 1,700 people.
17,000.
17,000 people. Sorry, my apologies. The food poisoning case and some subsequent protests also led to Tamil Nadu state government to ask Foxconn to review its worker facilities last year. Apple had to place another iPhone manufacturing partner on probation after workers' riots broke out over unpaid wages at the partner's factory in Bengal. Show notes. Yes. The rest of that's in the show notes.
Yes.
I understand there's been lots of controversy over using third world countries to build these things and livable wages and everything like that. But I know that, from what Apple has said, that they really have fixed these problems. And as you can see, if they're going to be treating their employees like this, then they're shutting down companies and making sure, putting companies on probation to make sure that the requirements that these people need are met. And so I hope this works out for mostly the employees, because I know that they need a living wage to support their families and that sort of stuff, and they get the better the standard of living and because nobody needs food poisoning. And considering that most Indians are vegetarian, if they're they don't really eat a lot of meat, so to get food poisoning from something like rice or off vegetables is terrible.
Or uncooked properly, just not cooked properly.
Well, normally it'd be from old rice, to be honest, especially over there, and most of that stuff would be the rice, because rice will get E. coli very quickly. It's got to stay at a nice warm temperature. So, I'm knowing that from my chef and Dave. So most of that stuff would probably be from the rice. So, yeah.
All right. So now that we haven't been having ads deliberately over the last since the pandemic came, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we are getting back to having ads.
Excellent.
So if anyone wants to know anything, etc., or advertise something, please let us know.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to talk about, let me get this right. There we go. Blue Ocean web hosting. Now, this is where Aussie Mac Zone is held when it's not, YouTube's on YouTube, but all the show notes and stuff are at Blue Ocean Web Hosting. They do domain hosting, SSL certificates, create websites for you. You can buy a .com.au website for $19.95 a year, or a .net.au website $19.95. A .asia is $33.95, or .com is $23.95. So yeah, you can do hosting with great plans. There's a starter plan, there's a business and a business plus plan that starts at $15.95 a month. Domains, again, they start at $19.95 a year. So real-time search registration, popular extensions, register, transfer, renew. You can get, pardon me, SSL certificates for domain validation, organization validation, or extended validation. That starts at $49 a year, just to give you an idea. So, yeah, custom-built websites or the site builder. Business websites, e-commerce, brochure or magazine, personal CV and blog, that sort of thing. So you can use WordPress for web design services, for example. And one thing that people don't realize is places, for example, like Squarespace in the States is basically, to the best of my knowledge, you can't export. So if you go in there and make your own website, but you want to then go somewhere else in 4 years' time, you can't export out of Squarespace. And I'm sure that's still the point. So wherever you go, you just got to make sure you can get out if you need to. Right? And you need to be able to, you want to back up your website, for example, things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, email hosting, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah,
awesome.
Blue Ocean Web Hosting.
Blue Ocean Web Hosting, eh?
Yeah,
awesome.
At blueoceanwebhosting.com.au. And thank you to Blue Ocean.
So now we've got some entertainment.
Gaming?
No, I've got... So I was going to review the
Nuts. Nuts.
No, I did Nuts last time.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
Oh, didn't I?
We had it down to do, but we didn't do it because we didn't do any of that sort. Like we just talked about different things.
Yeah, it's because we ended up doing the Christmas episode. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So over the break, I played Nuts. This was meant to be a game about catching squirrels. So it's a scientific, like you're in a lab, you're chasing squirrels and this sort of thing. So surveillance and mystery and that sort of thing. I thought it was going to be awesome. I really did. I thought this would be a really funny thing to do. You got your camera, you get set up, you go in, you go in and watch them. But I could not, for the life of me, work out how to play this game. Unfortunately, the game was unplayable. It was really hard. Like even getting to the van where you're meant to be set up and spying on the squirrels and that sort of stuff. And I don't even know if that's what it's really meant to do. It might just be called that. There might be like a murder mystery game. I have absolutely no idea because I could not play it. I tried for over an hour to play this game with no luck. It was hands down the worst Apple Arcade game I've ever played so far. So I went back to it as well. So when I'd written this, I tried to play it for over an hour and it worked out. And I thought maybe I'm doing something wrong. I then deleted it and reinstalled it and tried again. I came back to it a few days later thinking, all right, clear-headed, and everything like that, maybe I can work this out and give it another go. I could not work it out. The navigation was horrible. And the picture you just seen then that Michael put up is how the game looks. There's no difference. Like that doesn't change. So spying on squirrels, doing whatever, that's the scene you get. That's it. Trees are shadowy lines that blend into everything else. The footpath you're meant to walk along is just a few lines. And if you go off there because you're not paying attention and you get lost, good luck trying to find your way back. And like, it was terrible. And I'm sorry to say that I've never, ever said that about any Apple Arcade game I've ever played before, because they've all been, some of them weren't my thing, but they were okay. I could see how people could, get into them and things like this. But for me, this game was terrible. I could not play it. And unfortunately, first time ever, I'm going to give it a 0 apples.
Wow. So if anybody else tries it and thinks Zarn's making a mistake or Zarn missed something,
I'm just now old and irrelevant to gaming or something. I don't know. Like, I'm absolutely bamboozled with this game. And it really threw me because, I play all sorts of different games. And a lot. I do play a lot. I play with my kids at the moment. We're playing. Where am I? There we go. So at the moment we're playing Animal Crossing on Nintendo. All my 2 older boys have Animal Crossing. Kellyanne has an account as well. The boys have got Switch Lights, and we all play together. We do games as a family as well. And so I'm not, out of the loop or anything like that. Like we play we do play a lot of video games in this house, and I couldn't work it out. So unfortunately,
you poor old thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, if you like this game and you understand this game and you're thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Please email us. Because if you
tell us.
Explain to me how this game works, I will give it another shot and I will re-rate it, and I will go from there, because I actually don't really like rating games like this, and I don't like losing out to something like that, because I want to give it my best effort, and I want to show that that I have tried, and I feel like I've been I feel like I've let everyone down on this one, and I think
cool. So 5 Apple TV Plus movies and shows coming in January 2022. Hidden Remote reported Apple TV Plus has plenty coming our way in January 2022. From new horrors and thrills to fun new comedy, the streaming platform has something for everyone. Which Apple TV Plus movies and shows are the first out of the gate? Check out what the services has to offer. And if you don't have any Apple TV, you know that you're missing out on great content.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. While Netflix continues to have the most diversity and HBO Max has some of the biggest movie features in its library, Apple TV Plus content is known for its brilliant and unique stories and incredible cast. El Defo starts on January 7. The Tragedy of Macbeth, January 14. Servant Season 3, my wife can't wait, January 21. And Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, January 21. And the After Party Season 1, January 28. Apple TV Plus is kicking off things with a three-part animated series for kids. El Defo sees a child named Cece, I think, who begins to lose her hearing. The Tragedy of Macbeth premiered in theatres on Christmas Day, but will be available to stream on Apple TV Plus beginning January 14, which is today in Sydney time. Servant is a horror thriller that had all my attention in the first season. It does suffer with storytelling in season 2, but I'm hoping it recovers in the upcoming third season. That's the reporter's opinion. Now, need something to keep the kiddos busy on weekends? Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock should do the trick. This is the reboot of the classic kids show Fraggle Rock Rock On, which is also available to stream on Apple TV+. The After Party stars Tiffany Haddish, Sam Richardson, Zoe Chow, Ben Schwartz, Dave Franco, and others. The comedy murder mystery created by Christopher Miller follows guests at a high school reunion after party where a murder takes place. Each episode gives audiences a different character's perspective of what happened that night. Anyway, and that's just what's coming in January. There's more coming, and what's the one? The morning show that they've got. Season 3 is coming for that.
Ted Lasso.
It's got a new runner. Yeah, Ted Lasso's coming. Lots to come. Now, also, during the break, my wife and I enjoyed watching Acapulco, the first series, and look forward to watching series 2. It's about a guy who starts working at this resort at Acapulco and how he got to where he did. He's still working at the resort, so there's more to come, and he's explaining this to his grandson. So it's just a story, basically him telling his grandson what's happening, which is cool. It's good. Truth Be Told, we also enjoyed watching series 2 of Truth Be Told, which is based on a podcast about a former reporter and stories to do with that. Yeah, so, and now the bad bit, another ad. So if I go like that, we can get into it. IT Help to You, keeping it simple. So IT Help to You is an Apple support company. It's me, and I'm an Apple certified tech. I've done this year's exams already, so that's good because Apple certified techs, we have to do lots of exams every year.
How long have you been working with Apple products, Michael?
Since 1984.
Excellent.
My Apple IIc was my first Apple device, and a couple of months later I bought a Mac. I couldn't afford a Mac when I first bought the Apple IIc, and that was my second computer after building a Dick Smith kit back in about 1981. So, yeah, lots of fun, and I'm still an Apple supporter today. I went through the tough times in the 90s, blah, blah, blah.
Since 1984.
Yeah.
You've been an Apple supporter.
Yes.
And
so,
yeah.
Enjoying it immensely still. And
absolutely.
So anybody wants to know anything, they can email us. It's as simple as that.
I had no real preference. I mean, I grew up with Apple devices because that's what my family bought. But I had no real preference to PC, computer, like Apple, Android, anything like that.
Yeah.
But, I've now been part of this family for 10 years. And we own nothing but Apple products.
That's right. That's right.
And we know all about them. We know, yeah. So, well, you definitely have the knowledge.
This is something that amazed me this week. Over the Christmas break, I believe, a news company in America did a survey because school children are still in school in the States, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
They did a survey of teenagers. Yep. This amazes me. 87% of American teenagers own an Apple phone.
Yeah, wow.
teenagers. 87% of of teenagers own an Apple phone, and 88% expect it to be their next phone. So
Yeah, wow.
the market share will increase 1%.
Yeah. That's great.
And part of it was about bullying because, you've got you're a green bubble person. And the hassle with green bubbles is it can upset iMessage messages.
That's right, yeah.
So instead of being, when you hit I heart this, showing hearts, it'll just come back and say, I heart this, and it does a couple of other things to the message, blah, blah, blah. We don't agree with bullying at all. But as the person said, they're teenagers. Like, you get bullied about your shoes. I got bullied because I had red hair. Not that it ever bothered me. Like, you just got to not let it bother you. Don't let it bother you.
I got bullied for being really, really good looking. I know, it's horrible.
So, well, we do take bullying seriously. We do not agree with it.
Definitely.
Don't let it bother you.
No.
Like, I had red hair. My nickname was Spot. So much.
With the Apple messaging, you can message Apple to Apple even if you've got no credit, like if you've got a prepaid phone. But if you're at school and you're on the school Wi-Fi, you can message, like your friends still, because it'll work via Wi-Fi. And I think that's a great reason, to do that. Your child can message you from the school Wi-Fi, and you can be wherever and you still get that Apple message. So,
just 87% of teenagers in the States have an Apple phone. Like, it's just the numbers are unbelievable. Yeah. Anyway, maps. So we're in the how-to section now because I've changed the format a little bit this year so far. So we'll just have the news, then we'll have the games and entertainment, and then we'll have some how-tos, forcing me to do more how-tos.
Excellent.
So in maps now, you can report an incident in Australia, and this works on CarPlay or on your phone. So when you tap the map, and it now has report an incident with choices, which is crash, hazard, or speed check. So when you tap and then you go report, then it brings up a part where you remember to confirm after selecting whatever the incident is. So just remember to do that, to confirm, because if you just say crash and then leave it, it will actually, it won't go out onto the network for everybody to see. Yeah. So, now let's see if I can get this to work. Hey Siri, Lumos. So that's a Harry Potter thing, apparently. Saying Lumos turns on the light on the end of the wand, or turns the wand on, or something. It's been a while, like Harry Potter, how I was 20 Lumos. Years. Now, I had trouble with this one, but so I'll do it again.
Hey Siri.
Hey Siri, Lumos. Hey Siri, Knox. Yeah, it's got spelt differently, and it didn't get that. You should try it again, and now it's typing that out while I do it. So I could. It obviously doesn't understand me saying Knox, but that turns the flashlight off.
Yeah, mine did it.
Yeah, so you obviously say it better than I do.
SEO.
Yeah, SEO. So if you go, hey lady, SEO Safari, try that.
Hey Siri, SEO.
No, you got to say an app after it.
Oh, okay, no, that's not it.
Yes.
SEO Safari, is it?
Yeah.
Hey Siri, SEO Safari.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
SEO Safari.
Hey Siri, SEO Safari.
ASIO Safari.
Nah.
No, I don't like our accent.
Nah. So that would
Right.
open the app. So if you say SEO,
Instead
you
of
know,
hitting
Tinder,
get out
it'd
of
open Tinder for you. Like, it's just save time for doing that for you.
it didn't do anything twice, and the third time I just said it just brought up Listen Esso. Well, I'm happy with that. I like Listen Esso. It's okay. But
That's right.
So not exactly what I asked her to do, though.
So you can read the next one? You got that?
Cool. Turn off was it battery turn off handoff.
Yeah.
If you got a HomePod, for Christmas, and your battery appears to be draining a lot faster, go into settings, AirPlay, and handoff, and turn off handoff. And using the handoff feature, using the handoff feature, there's a picture, 15-year iPhone birthday pic.
No. But so assuming you're not using the handoff feature. So handoff is where you walk in, tap your phone on the hold your phone near the AirPod, HomePod. Yeah, and it goes from starts playing the music from your phone onto your HomePod.
Yeah.
But because then if you don't actually ever use that, it's going to keep going. Does he want me to do it? Does he want me to do it? Does he want me to? So Bluetooth ends up using a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's always going, does he want me? Does he want me? Does he want me? So, yeah. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
This one's spectacular.
Sorry.
There. Go for it.
I'm just going to find it. Hang on. I apologize. It keeps shutting down on me.
So
15 years iPhone birthday pic.
Yeah, so it's 15 years
since the
on
iPhone
Monday.
was released.
No, announced. Yes, 15 years since the iPhone was announced.
And is that what?
That was last Monday. That's it. That's him doing the announcement. Steve's doing the announcement.
So is that just the iPhone?
Yeah. Just the iPhone. The one that we didn't officially get in Australia.
Yep. You got one though, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I had one of our neighbours used to go to the States for work a couple of times a year. So he bought one back for me. And we put the SIM in, and I think I had to jailbreak it back in those days to get it to work.
Yeah.
And that's the one my wife used once we got it. Yeah. You know, from a Motorola, Motorola flip phone or a Nokia flip phone or something to the iPhone.
It looks very much like an iPod, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. They are very close together back in those days.
I said that, and I realised on the right-hand side down the bottom, there's a picture there of your iPod. So clearly, you could connect your iPod and have your iPod in there. How many gigs were they, Michael?
The 4 and 8 from memory.
Yeah.
Just 4 and 8. Yeah. So. And the reason, we get heaps of leaks now saying, "Oh, this is what next year's phone's going to be," or this is what the phone is actually going to be, because things like the Federal Communications Association in America has got to approve things.
Yep.
That's why they announced it in January, because they hadn't even lodged the Federal Communications and to get approval for the phone.
Yeah.
So they announced it in January, and when we get it, June that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason. Like, we get heaps of leaks from the manufacturers and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And there'd been stories about iPhones, but no real leaks. You know, there've been stories saying, there's an iPod coming, blah, 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 that plays music but no real leaks about when it's going to happen or what it's going to look like, and that's the reason.
Excellent.
They don't. That's the reason we don't have as many leaks Oh, we have more leaks now too, because they can keep things hidden back in those days as well.
The first iPhone we got here in Australia was the iPhone 3, wasn't it?
3G.
3G.
Yeah, because it had 3G in it, whereas the first iPhone didn't. Yeah. Yeah. So anything else you'd want to talk about?
Oh. I don't know. We've been watching all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah.
So to go back to entertainment because I was out dealing with the door. So we've been watching all sorts of different stuff. Hunter has really gotten into the Ice Age movies, which are all on Disney for the Apple TV. So we watched a whole bunch. All of them. All of them. Back to back, by the way.
Wow.
Had a movie day. So we watched all of those. I've been using, which you would love, by the way, Michael. You've got to check out BritBox.
Yeah.
I've been watching lots of old school murder mysteries, Father Brown. I've been also been watching. They've got 8 out of 10 Cats on there. They've got Would I Lie to You? They've got so much. All of Doctor Who, which I've said before. But it's really good. I really like the BritBox app. We got rid of a couple of the other apps, streaming apps that we had, and replaced it with BritBox because we use that more. Also found that Binge now, because if anyone doesn't know, Binge is Foxtel's streaming service. That you can also get on your Apple. It also now has live TV, and so you can get UK TV on there.
Okay.
And so we've been watching even more murder mysteries. Even 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. Would I Lie to You? They've also got the food. That's like the food channel, I guess.
Yeah.
But it has British.
Oh, lost you. You stopped altogether. Have I lost you altogether? Oh, no. Have I lost you altogether? Yeah, gone. Gone. I don't know whether you can hear me or not. So I'll just try and contact you. Yeah, lost you altogether.
Was that your end or mine?
Well, I know mine. Yeah. Do you want to try and come back in? Okay. All right. Well, hang on a sec. Yeah, so go on. You're talking about BritBox. To everybody, Zarn's internet's completely dropped, so we're talking on the phone just to do the finishing bits.
So we found we watch a lot of British TV because we like the sense of humour and all that sort of stuff, and so we got rid of a couple of other streaming services to get BritBox. Now with Binge offering a bunch of live stream TV applications, you can also get Fox 8, all that sort of stuff, live news. And so we really enjoyed watching a whole bunch of British TV.
Yeah, well, we enjoyed watching series 2 of Manhunt.
Yeah, Manhunt's great.
Yeah, with Martin Clunes.
Yeah,
that was cool. And I've been trying to watch series 1, but I don't think BritBox got series 1 anymore. I haven't found anyone that's got series 1. Can't find it on YouTube or anything. So, I'm trying to find series 1, which is because series 2 was excellent.
Is Manhunt the one where they send out regular people to go hide in the bush in Britain, and the police have got to chase them and find them?
No, that's another show. There's a couple of shows called Manhunt. This one with Martin Clunes is where he plays a police officer.
Yeah.
And it's based on a police officer's telling of this particular case, which went for 19 years, of a guy that was breaking into houses a couple of times a night. He'd go in, he'd take globes out, but he was also attacking the residents.
Oh, wow.
Who were mostly older females. But yeah, went on for 19 years until they caught him.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just like got the whole story of so it's just amazing. So yeah, it's based on different police officers' recollections of an event, or of a story.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was excellent with Martin Clunes in it. So yeah.
So other than that, I don't know. We just through isolation, we just watched a lot of British TV. I think that was a bit comforting, really. They get that good laugh. Oh, so they didn't have it before on British TV on BritBox, but they do now, and that's Open All Hours.
Yeah.
And I love Open All Hours. I used to watch it with my grandpa.
Yeah.
When I was sort of, Mason's Hunter's age.
Yeah.
And so I watched a lot of Open All Hours now. There's 4 seasons of it. I really like the Ronnies.
Yeah.
Both together and apart. I watched Porridge as well. Porridge is also just as funny.
That's the jail one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, considering the phone and my internet doesn't look like it's going to come on anytime soon, I'm going to have to ring them. We've been having a lot of dropouts in my area.
Yeah.
Doing lots of NBN upgrades.
Yeah. All right. So the show promotion. So you get the show notes each link each week. This week being.
1 second.
That's it. Yeah, it's this week being AussieMaxZone.com.au/AMZ399.
There you can see the last 6 weeks of show notes.
Yeah.
If you would like to email us, you can email Michael or Zarn at AussieMaxZone.com.au.
Yeah. And don't forget, however you're listening to us, please give us a rating. It helps others find us.
Yeah. So wherever you listen to us too, like, podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, if you're watching us or whatever, make sure you like and follow us. It's really important. We do the same for you.
Yeah. Now, most importantly, thanks to you, our listeners, our most important supporters.
Yes.
And over to Zarn for the now long-distance infamous sign-off.
That's right. Thank you for another fantastic, it's been more than a week, trying times, but it's an apple a day. Keeps the androids away. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
Bye.